Good morning, good morning. Perhaps it is good afternoon or good night, depending upon where you are on the globe. I had originally set this to be an audio video, however, it did not work out the way that I wanted to. So I'm going to keep it as a live, and anyone that will catch the replay, you are welcome to leave your comments. So before I begin, in usual fashion, let me present my disclaimers. This is under the Fair Use Act, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which states allowance is made for fair use of copyrighted material for the purposes of commentary, criticism, news reporting, research, education, teaching, and or scholarship. It provides for the legal non-licensed citation and or incorporation of copyrighted material by others, which in some circumstances might be infringing. So with that, we will be speaking, and this will be brief, on the Donald Trump. And who is that next to Donald Trump? That is U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan, who wrote a 48-page opinion and rejected Trump's attempt to dismiss the 2020 election subversion case. Now, before I go any further, let me go ahead and, for those who may not have the textbook definition of subversion, it's basically the undermining of the power and authority of an established system or institution. And to be used in a sentence, the ruthless subversion of democracy. Now, the majority of this stems from the January 6th insurrection. So I'm going to show a video. This is courtesy of CNN. And I put up a couple of shorts, and it appears that a few people were quite upset with that. So maybe they'll have time to read all of the information that's available on the internet. And as I always say, I implore each and every one of you to conduct your own independent research. Election season is coming. There are so many suits out. There are so many allegations out. Tensions are on full throttle. So there are going to be people extremely passionate. I understand that. And I take nothing personal. So the first video is going to be courtesy of CNN. And that is if StreamYard doesn't give me any problems. And this is going to be brief. At least that's what I anticipate it being. Again, this is in reference to the dismissal of Trump's motion to dismiss these cases. And it also factors in on immunity, which is very important. And there should be a link. I anticipate a link where those who are interested in reading the 48-page opinion, you may do that at your leisure. I've read the majority of it and must say, very well written, and it explains quite a bit. So again, this is fair use and courtesy of CNN. And we will see if it comes up. If not, I will have to improvise because, as I said, StreamYard has been acting quite bizarre as of late for many people that have tried to go live. That's why I wanted to do a video, but honestly, if it is not connecting correctly live, which it appears that I'm stuck, it may not as a video. So let's see what happens. And yes, there are connection issues. Move it closer to the router. If not, I may have to do this another time. We shall see though. Just waiting for the video to pop up. And as I wait, let me see if I can even stop it. Nope, it's still hung up. So again, briefly, while I wait to see if StreamYard is going to go ahead and connect. Okay, here we go. Looks like we may be in business now. This is a brief. I'm trying to get a comment, and then we can go forward. And it's buffering again. So basically, the federal judge in this particular case, who is presiding over the 2020 case in DC, has refused, I repeat, has refused to dismiss the charges against former President Donald Trump. I'm waiting for StreamYard again. Absolute immunity for any federal crimes they committed while in office. And that's the operative phrase there. For any federal crimes they committed while in office. And that is coming from U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan. Also, there is an issue that likely must be settled by an appeals court above Chutkan before Trump's criminal trial, which is set for March 2024. So there is going to be a lot of moving parts, more dates, and more information that will be coming out. And I really wanted to play that video. However, it appears. Hey there, Pinley. How are you? I may not be able to do it. Okay, there we are, finally. So, this is CNN Politics. And you can see here the text. Here you can see whatever immunities a sitting president may enjoy. The United States has only one chief executive at a time. And that position does not, again, that position does not confer a lifelong get out of jail free pass. So these are very stern words. Former presidents, again, former presidents enjoy no special conditions on their federal criminal liability. This has come up again. Criminal. Defendant may be subject to federal investigation, indictment, which we've already seen that occur, prosecution, conviction, and punishment for any criminal acts undertaken while in office. And that is just a portion of what Judge Chutkan has written. And once this clears up, I am going to the next screen, which is going to be, hey there, Peter, how are you? And StreamYard just kicked me out again. So give me 1 second. And as I said, there are a few people that are not too happy. Well, actually, there's more than a few people, but that's the way that it goes. And this right here, again, is fair use, and it's from The Guardian, if I'm able to pull that up. If not, I will put the link in the description. Again, this is fair use. And it basically is an overview of what I just stated. A federal judge on Friday rejected Donald Trump's attempt to dismiss his federal criminal case over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. And I want to scroll down towards the bottom because there is something I want to be able to click on to share. If not, I'll put it in the description. But further, it says nothing in the Constitution's text or allocation of government powers requires exempting former presidents. So again, this particular judge, a U.S. district judge, has laid down the law. And again, there's a mention of the appellate court. So we have to keep an eye on that. And earlier, I put up a short where former President Donald Trump was laughing it up with Sean Hannity. Many of you may already be familiar with Sean Hannity, but basically he appeared to be joking that he would be a dictator for one day only, and then it would be back to closing the border and drilling. And that had a lot of people a little bit uncomfortable, if you will. And I am looking for a link. And as I wait for that, as I scroll down, you can see more of what was written to include the Supreme Court has never immunized presidents, much less former presidents, from judicial process merely because it was the first time that process had been necessary. Chutkan wrote, invoking U.S. history and the pardon conferred to Richard Nixon after the Watergate scandal. And many of us, even the younger generation, I'm sure at least heard of Watergate. So here is what I wanted to be able to click on. And hopefully it'll allow me to do it. If not, it will be in the description. And again, this is from The Guardian. And the first was from CNN. Now I need to get back over to StreamYard. And Peter says, thanks for beating the Seahawks for us. We return the favor for beating the Eagles. Yes, I am extremely excited and thankful for that. So let me try this one more time. Again, this is the 48-page opinion, and I'm sure no one is going to be reading that anytime soon. But as I said, I've read the majority of it, and it was extremely well written, and it explains quite a bit. And I actually have it pulled up, just waiting for it to connect. And I don't know if I'm going to do this over as a video. I doubt it. Because as I said, if it's doing it this way, it'll do it. as a video. So hopefully everyone should be able to see some parts of this. Okay, as I mentioned, this is a 48-page opinion, and it was filed on December the 1st. As you can see in the caption, it's the United States of America versus Donald J. Trump, case number, criminal action number 23-257 TSC. T as in Tom, S as in Sam, C as in cat. And briefly, I'll just read a bit and piece of this for those that are out working or driving. These opinions are good sources of information for those of you who are looking to understand laws a little bit more. You can choose random public cases and just go through them just to get familiar with the terminology and how it may coincide with other cases or possible cases. But the opinion begins as follows. The United States has charged former President Donald J. Trump with 4 counts. Again, 4 counts of criminal conduct that he allegedly committed during the waning days of his presidency. And it asks you to go to see the indictment, EFC number 1. He, meaning Donald J. Trump, has moved to dismiss the charges against him based on presidential immunity. See ECF number 74, immunity motion. All of this can be found in your readings if you choose to do so. And on constitutional grounds, ECF number 113, constitutional motion. For the reasons set forth below, the court will deny both motions. So as you can see, he had moved to dismiss the charges against him based on, number 1, presidential immunity, and next, on constitutional grounds. Both motions were denied. The background is extremely long, so I am going to quickly try to find the meat and potatoes where it gives more of an explanation. And I may have to go to the very end. But again, you can find this on the web, and I'll also put a link in my description because this is a very, very good opinion. And the reasons why this judge ruled to deny these. But as I wait, okay, good. Let's start it down again. I'm going to go to page 16. Those concerns do not carry the same weight in the context of a former president's federal criminal prosecution. First, the Supreme Court has largely rejected similar claims of a chilling effect, and those are in quotes, from the possibility of future criminal proceedings. During the Watergate prosecution, President Nixon argued that if recordings of his conversations were subject to criminal subpoena, the presidential decision-making process would be compromised because his staff would be less candid. And then they have a citation, Nixon, 418 U.S. at 70506. The court disagreed, stating that it cannot conclude that advisors will be moved to temper the candor of their remarks by the infrequent occasions of disclosure, because of the possibility that such conversations will be called for in the context of criminal prosecution. The court quoted Justice Cardozo's unanimous opinion, finding that a jury's decision-making process would not be meaningful, chilled if jurors' conduct were later subject to criminal prosecution. And I'm going to go down a little bit further. It's probably going to be towards the end. They're still talking about Nixon. So here we go. The indictment does not violate due process. Defendant had fair notice that his conduct might be unlawful. None of the criminal laws he is accused of violating, and they give them right here, to guess at the prohibited conduct. And then they state another case, Lanier, 520 U.S. at 266. Nor does finding that the indictment complies with due process require the court to create a novel judicial construction of any statute. Further, defendant notes that the principle of fair notice has special force in the First Amendment context. That was the constitutional motion I spoke of earlier. And according to the opinion, while that may be true, even special force does not place defendant's alleged conduct outside the plain language of the charged statutes he alleges. First, his argument does not contrast the allegations in the indictment with the plain language of the statutes, but instead attempts to recast the factual allegations in the indictment itself as no more than routine efforts to challenge an election. And it also advises you where you could go to find that information as well. Second, the meaning of statutory terms need not be immediately obvious to an average person. Indeed, even trained lawyers may find it necessary to consult legal dictionary, treatises, and judicial opinions before they may say with any certainty what some statutes may compel or forbid. And due process does not entitle defendant to advance warning that his precise conduct is unlawful, so as long as the law plainly forbids it. So I'm going to go down to the last paragraph and the conclusion. Again, this is a 48-page opinion, very well written, and it shows a lot of information. Finally, defendant argues for the indictment to comply with due process, the prosecution bears the burden to provide examples where similar conduct was found criminal. Constitutional reply at 21, under that theory, novel criminal acts would never be prosecuted. The Constitution does not so constrain the executive branch. The conclusion: for the foregoing reasons, the court will deny defendant's motion to dismiss indictment based on presidential immunity, ECF number 74, and also his motion to dismiss the indictment based on constitutional grounds, ECF number 113. A corresponding order will accompany this memorandum opinion. Hey there, Sanjay. How are you? Hey there, Peter. And you're back. Let me see what you're saying. Peter says, do I think Donald Trump will be allowed to run for the president in 2024, or will the government stop him? I'm not really sure, to be honest, Peter. He is still carrying along business as usual, despite all of these legal woes. He has garnered much support as it relates to individuals and monies. Anything is possible. This particular case that I'm speaking of, that will not be held until March of 2024. And one of the last articles I read was Biden, and again, I implore you to do your research, it stated that he had not planned on running again unless Trump did, which to me is not a strong enough reason, but who am I? P. Moses, how are you? And we have member 83. Hello, how are you? And member Sanjay. So that is what is going on as far as President Trump and his two pleadings, if you will, his motions that were both denied, and they are available on replay. For those of you who will catch the replay, and again, I just provided a portion of the 48-page opinion, which is extremely long, but for those of you that enjoy law and are interested in what's going on with all of these cases and allegations with Trump, that's extremely good information there. Again, the sources, CNN and The Guardian. And I don't believe anyone has anything to say, because most people, unless you are coming in from abroad, may have anything you want to add. But to be courteous, I will drop this just in case for a couple of moments to get your ideas and thoughts on this latest Trump legal battle. And if in a couple of moments no one has anything to say, I will close this out and at some point later, see you all virtually later, as I do have a music break coming up that I like to do at least a couple of times during the week and the weekend. And I'm trying to find the short that I did. Here we go. That a couple of people had a couple of not so popular responses. But as I said, if you are truly a supporter, anything negative, people do get upset behind. And I understand that. People are extremely passionate. People don't understand what's going on or what may go on in the future. So this is the short that I shared. It's at the pin. And Sanjay is still smiling. And thank you again to you, Sanjay, for your membership and for all of the members. Please make sure that you keep your notification bells on, because I will be doing a members appreciation. I think I have it scheduled either for the 16th or 17th. So make sure that your notification bells are on. But that is the latest with Donald Trump. And again, this short was just him, as I said, speaking as he normally does. And he was speaking with Sean Hannity and basically said he would be a dictator for that day only and then get to building up the borders and drilling. Many people found it funny, others did not. And I see P. Moses is in the house. How are you? And what are you doing up so early? I guess I should be asking myself the same question. I got off late. And instead of going straight home, I made a pit stop. Just back in. There we go. And thank you for that, P. Moses. But yes, I may turn this into just a video, but basically the background is Donald Trump and his motions, both of his motions being denied, as you can see towards the left, and that is U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan. And you can do your research on her as well, if that is something you choose to do. And again, both pieces of information can be found at CNN and also The Guardian. I didn't see this earlier, P. Moses, but thank you. So everyone, this is going to be an interesting ride as it nears election season. There's also another story that a Trump supporter in Georgia, again, allegedly, may have threatened someone. So, again, I have to do a little bit more research on that. But to answer Peter's question earlier, who knows what can and will happen? As I mentioned, he's garnered a lot of support from individuals and financial backing. Now, whether these lawsuits and allegations will have some or much bearing on his bid for 2024, I can't say at this time. It really, really depends. So, with that, I am going to close it out, and I'll be just under 45 minutes, which is good. But I just wanted to put this information out there. So please be sure to leave a comment if you would like. And those that catch the replay, please as well leave a comment if you should desire. And everyone, enjoy the remainder of their night, morning, afternoon, or evening. And again, thank you all for tuning in, and thank you all to the members. Please again make sure that you keep your notification bells on, and thank you as well, Peter. Everyone, take care, and thank you for tuning in. Until next time, be safe, be well, and you know the rest. Be healthier.